Hello again, golfers, and welcome to the 10th episode of Inside the Ropes, a deeply personal journey with Scottie Walnuts PGA Tour 2K25 Course Showcase Series. I'm your host, Scottie Walnuts, and today we're going to check out a new course called the Old Haddock. Just a reminder that we film these episodes live on Twitch every Tuesday night beginning at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and if you found your way here, then you're very welcome to join us on Tuesday nights, and the link is below in the description. So the Old Haddock, and just taking a peek at the designer page, it looks like a relatively new designer with a handful of publishers coming out in the latter half of 2025. And let's take a look at what the designer themselves have to say about it. It's brief, but they say, on the Scandinavian coastline where fishermen once struggled for survival, now lies a golf course reflecting the harsh nature in the north. So that brief description really sums it up. We're going to be encountering a rugged coastal environment and perhaps Viking or Viking era style settlements that we'll see throughout the course, little wood cabins on top of stone foundations. And certainly the name of the course is a nod to the fishing lifestyle that the inhabitants would be used to. And although today we're playing golf on a beautiful day, you could only imagine what this landscape might be like in the dead of winter, buried under multiple feet of snow. So there's four sets of tees, and at the shorter end, the red tees are 6,246 yards, and at the longer end, the tips where we'll play from, it's going to be 7,043 yards, par 72. So not the longest course out there, but as we'll see, the length is not the primary defense of this golf course. Just a reminder, we're on TGC Tour's Platinum Tour settings for our rounds, which is Legend Swing difficulty, and we use a default ball, so we'll get a sense of how the course plays on the difficulty played by the best players in the world. And if you enjoy the showcase, remember to smash that like and subscribe button, or leave a comment to let me know what you think of the course and the round. So we're playing the Old Haddock, and we're all set up here. Tips pin 3. Black tee pin 3, medium wind to the north, all default, which is firm, fast. And let's head to the first tee. All right, so let's take a look at this Scandinavian environment that we're going to be in here. Yeah, that's right. A little bit sort of rocky, a little bit watery. Let's have some fun out there. 391 downhill, left to right to open the round. Not a big green in water. Yeah, I mean, that could come into play. A little bit more visual, but water definitely could come into play on the approach. Out there with the 3-wood, figure there is no sense of getting too cute with that one. We're out there, 123 on the approach. You would hope that water is not being brought into play on this particular shot, but you could imagine with a different wind or, yeah. Got a sort of red barn way out there in the distance. Maybe we'll get a closer look at that. A beautiful bridge and some more barn kind of stuff. We'll probably meander our way past there, closer up at some point. We got 9 feet to convert on the opening hole. Birdie on 1. And we're off and running here at the Old Haddock. Bringing some color into this, some purple flower stuff going on there. Bit of a decision to be made as well. I mean, this would be, if this was even the gentlest of tailwinds, this would be a really interesting. And there's still, I think we're gonna go for it because it's what we do. But even just a gentle little tail breeze would make a world of difference here. The other play is to lay back, hang back here. You're gonna have a probably mid-iron approach. That wouldn't be an easy one, or maybe short iron. Let's see if we can get her up and over. Now, there is a lot of risk involved in this shot, though. Hmm. Hmm. 101, perfect points, overpower rhythm, still not enough. And in a miraculous turn of events, we are not in the water. In fact, although not an easy one, we actually have an approach in here. Just going to leave ourselves a nice little 7-iron here. That was always going to be a battle to keep it up on that proper coming out of the heavy. I mean, it's unfortunate that that didn't hold up, but that never really actually had a chance because we were coming at it from the heavy with a 7-iron, and you're just not stopping that ball, unfortunately. See, it's quite severe. Even getting up here will not be that easy. Probably overdid that one a little bit, but probably for the better too. And even on a little chip like this, you just got to be a little bit careful with it that it doesn't get away from you because the consequences are profound. Look at that. This might even be a putt. Yeah, so we're not quite going to save our par there, but we will limit the damage considering how that hole probably could have gone. On to 3. Crack a fresh can of cola. Couple early Nux appearances in episode 10. Well, par 3 here. Small greens, perhaps that'll be a feature of this course. Small greens. Again, water with a decent shot shouldn't come into play, but it does, I think. Particularly if the winds were higher. They're just medium here, but 24 feet on the par 3 third. Painless 2-putt par. Par 5 fourth coming up here. Little barn situation. I'm not even sure. I keep saying the word barn, but little cabin or shed maybe here. Let's take a look. What do we got here? What sort of structure do we have here? Some sort of structure. Looks like it could be a dwelling place. I think it very well could be a dwelling place. Probably is. This little. Oh yeah, there's some more across the water there. Oh yeah. I mean, remember, we're in Scandinavia here, and so you could imagine, it's probably summertime right now, but, they're up on these foundations so they don't get buried in the snow, maybe. Maybe that's just how they build houses in Scandinavia. I don't know. It's neat, though. Power drive on the par 5. Try and cut down as much of this hole as possible. What's up, Yabis? I see you there. Just a reminder, the redemptions are disabled during the filming. 220 yards in on the par 5 downhill with the wind. We're going to be able to take, I think, a 5 iron into this. And again, we'll just stop and take a look here. Beautiful sort of situation over the water with the bridge, and it leads out to the lake or the ocean. And we keep seeing these cabins, and see another bridge out there, out to out to the lake or the ocean, whatever it may be out there. Bigger water. Keep seeing these purple plants around a little bit. Gives some nice color to the course, some vibrancy. Flat iron heading in here. Yeah, I appreciate that. Decent little shot there. Had a lot of fun making them, Yabis. Little dock there, some little wooden boats. And we remember from the description what was said. The dangerous life it was to live here until really not too long ago. It's unforgiving terrain. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you coming in. Just got an iron out there on the fairway. We got 100 yards remaining. What do we got back here? What's happening back here? Just a little just a little dock, a little place to hang out. Have lunch, maybe. Maybe do some fishing for haddock, maybe. Perhaps other fish. This little spot there, yeah. Me and night could sit together, enjoy the sunset. Calculated little push on that putt there, and it was just enough to keep the ball high enough to drop. Heading to the sixth hole. $16 remain. That's does not stay up. We'll two-putt the par. Heading to the seventh. Nice little bridge spotting up here. And obviously the approach brings you over the water and maybe even our next tee box. Is that what? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Ooh. So we got a nice green, nice couple holes coming up here. On the seventh hole, 344 yards. They're probably, oh yeah, there's a shot. There's a shot. It's not an easy one, but there is definitely a go for it here. And it might not even be a power drive. Maybe it is. Well, let's give her a rep, see what happens. Wouldn't recommend that philosophy for competitive play, but we'll give it a rip. Well, we quadded it, so we'll certainly get a sense of. Not quite, not quite. Just have to take our medicine 3 off the tee, or what's happening here if I keep backing up? Honestly, we might, as crazy as it sounds, I don't know, we're not allowed to. Okay, we can found some fairway here. Found some fairway here. We can take it from 163. We'll give ourselves a bit more room to clear the houses. Okay. Just getting a better look at the pin, better look at the course from this angle. Really beautiful from over here. Look at this. It's beautiful. It is. And then we'll play the hole that we're kind of half on right now next. This is fine. We're in a decent spot here. Par is in play. Par is still in play. Keep the par alive. You can take a penalty and keep the par alive, you're in decent shape. That's okay, we'll drop the shot. Worth taking the rip. Now we got this hole coming back along the sort of colored, almost like little. Not sure what those are. Some sort of boathouse type, dock type situation. All right, coming in now on 9. 524 yards, but it moves pretty severely from right to left, so it's going to play longer. Not the most complex out of the tee shots we've encountered thus far. But the course on the overall does not have the most forgiving fairways, it seems. All right, decent out there. Still 291 though. I mean, up the hill as well. Got the bridge over there. Up the hill. Yeah. I mean, we'll hit a power approach. May not get us right up there, but I don't think there should be any danger insofar as actually not getting it up there. Unless it's an exceptionally awful strike, but and those do happen, they do. I think we should be okay there. Just try and hope that this ball rolls out as much as possible, get to that back pin placement. I think we're nice there, and you know what? We cut 98%. I'd be so curious to see what 99 or 100% would have been on that shot. I think we would have been right on it. We would have been right on it. So we got 28 feet for eagle. It's tricky though, and you got to take a lot of caution that you don't roll this one more than a box or so past, because you are gone if you do. Even this is in danger. This is in a lot of danger, this ball. I'm actually surprised that we rolled out that far past the pin and stayed up. So it's one of those situations, and it increases your chances. 8 feet it rolled out past the hole there, even though we hit our percent, which was already a lower amount than the caddy had recommended. But we'll take 8 feet for birdie there. To finish up the front 9, we'll head into the clubhouse real quick and be right back on the 10th tee. I just realized I've been on mute the entire time since we teed off on 10, so hopefully the scenes we were sharing will speak for themselves in that way. Brad, Brad thought we were just in the zone. Always possible. We do like to think that we lock in. .368 downhill. No, I was just sort of showing off. You can see another one back here. There are these little groups of we'll take a closer look when we're off the tee. Little groups of these sort of Viking huts. These wooden structures on sort of elevated stone foundations. And the fishing vessels over here, you can see a lighthouse. Looks like we might play a par. Well, at least there's a green over there. You know that. All right, you got to work this ball left to right, I think, if there's this tree right here in front of us. That is not on a promising line. We have found water for the second time today. But yeah, these sorts of things here where and then in this case there's just a little wooden paddle boat, but some of them have like a bigger, like proper fishing boat. That's what we were talking about. All right, car's still in play. We're gonna have to drain 28 feet left to right. We can save par if we do. Maybe a little timid on that one. We'll drop the shot after the penalty, as is often the case. What's up, Adam? Appreciate you coming in. There we see that lighthouse there that we were just commenting on out in the distance. So par 3 here, 137 yards. Again, a small green. It's been the theme. Well, that's been part of the course philosophy, so it would seem. Nice lighthouse here again. Nice spot maybe for me at night to hang out, watch the sun go up, watch the sun go down. Some bridges. Love bridges. We love bridges. Some bridges. And nice look there. We'll make the birdie on the short little par 3 there. Not even too short, but I mean, what was it, 137? We took a pitching wedge. On to par 5, 14th. It's 488 yards. Doesn't sound long, but there's always more, or often there's more to the story. Nice little stone bridge in this case. I've seen a lot of wooden bridges, but a nice little stone bridge there taking us over. When we get there, you want to get it up the hill, but you don't want to clear the hill by too much, and then you just run straight through this fair. This is a tricky little one. You can see, you know, 488 on the par 5. It's really just about getting off the tee in a good way here, and then that determines whether you've made yourself into a par 4 that says 5 on the card, or whether you're actually playing a par 5 if you don't make it up the hill. But again, almost as soon as you're clearing it, you need it to get down because of this exact, yeah, rolls right through, heavy rough, and we're like a little bit in not. I'd actually say we might not even have a shot at the green here because of where the ball came to rest in relation to these trees right in front of us. So this might have just become like a 3-shot, par 4.5. It's all about the tee shot there. If you can find fairway, you can make something happen on this hole. And at the same time, the same drive that clears on the tee shot is almost the same drive that runs through the fairway. There's very little in between, right? And of course, in that case, that's a situation where you'd actually benefit from a headwind because at least you can slow the ball speed down on during its flight and then on the bounce. I think our best play is going to be a spinner in here. 50-degree spinner from 64 yards. We'll want it to bounce and then check pretty hard. We can see right behind the pin. It gets dicey quickly and runs off into that collection area at the back. So, if anything, we'll want to keep this on the short side. Maybe 2 feet in front of the pin would be the ideal shot. Very cautious with it. It's not a bad shot, but it is a very cautious shot. We're going to have to make a putt from 10 feet. Probably not high enough. Yeah, you could tell right away. Tricky though. Again, that ball, we underswang that one, underswung it, and still almost ran ourselves off there. What's up, ATB? Appreciate that offer. Welcome in. All right, 496 yards. It's a par 4. Oh, and it's just asking you to give it a shot. And especially with the little tailwind there, well, there's no doubt that we'll give this one a crack. Again, I do think there's a danger that if you clear it, you're immediately in danger, especially with the power drive of running through the fairway, so tricky all around, but I mean, it's even more like narrow up here anyway, so there's like, I mean, there's an obvious downside that you're bringing water a lot closer into play, but in some way you actually got a bigger landing area and we have the wind to do it, so let's just give her. What do you say? Just appreciating this this like landscape here. That look there in green perched up here, but natural areas down here. 126 in on the par 4 15th. We've hit the tee shot that you want. But even that, you can see how close that came to just rolling right on through the fairway. We'll convert the birdie on that one. We are down to our final 3 holes here. 16th hole. $574-yard par 5. You can see the fairway pinches here. There are many tee shots that demand precision, and then you get some greens that are on the smaller side. And so if you're not sort of right on it, but it'll reward you if you hit your shots, but if you're not sort of right on it, like it's not going to give it to you, you know? This one isn't going to give it to you for free. You won't make your birdie if you're not precise on tee shot and approach and putt. Like you got to nail all 3. It's not going to give you any of those for free. Easing off on the 3-wood. Tough to control the rollout, but we're all right there. 54 feet for eagle. At least it's uphill. That's the danger of some of these putts that, you hit it 1% overswing, and then there's, 2 boxes behind the hole. It starts the red slope, but we're going uphill at this one. Don't need to be quite as apprehensive, but still a long putt. Maybe 6 yards. Just a little bit uphill. And in this particular pin, I mean, if the pin was, if you had green to work with, then this becomes not so much of a, but in this case, once again, we'll be asked to be very precise. Probably actually the perfect bounce is like here, something like that. Hey, what's up, Skyline? Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, needed it maybe 2 yards further up, and it would just bounce in and kill it. But
dribble onto the. That's okay. We're okay there. It's a tricky one. Didn't really nail that. Super flop there. That's okay. We'll still make the par. Head to the final hole here. Looks like we'll be teeing off over this water. 350-yard par 4. There's definitely, especially with a little bit of a tailwind, a shot to get there on this one. In fact, I'm not even sure it would be a full power drive. You could call it that, Skyline. See if we can work a tee shot left to right here. Hold it against that right to left tailwind. Naturally, we are on the safe side, but even though we didn't, I don't think, it's just an awareness as well that we just brought this water into play behind us, and I wasn't really considering that actually. Obviously, the water on this side you're very aware of, but this could really get you if you're not careful, and we almost weren't there. And instead of having a convenient little up and down birdie, we've got to make 42 feet uphill, double break. No problem, though. No problem. So that does it for us on the Old Haddock. Let's take a look at the scorecard. The chip in on 17, the birdie on 18. We were finding ways. 5 under, 67. Again, it's a course that it'll reward you if you have the consistency and hit the shots, but it's not giving a single thing to you. So I think we did all right there to get to the -5.
Watching another edition of Inside the Ropes, a deeply personal journey with Scottie Walnuts. If you enjoyed the show, remember to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment to let me know what you thought about the round. Remember, we're live most evenings on Twitch with golf and sometimes other sport and story games, and we film these episodes in front of a live studio audience on Twitch every Tuesday night. Link in the description. TM high and let 'em fly.